Is it possible that you can make excuses or you can get results, but you can't do both? If you want your life to look a certain way, and here's the 4 questions that I always ask. Are you healthy, fit and strong? Do you have a career or business that you love? If you love it and you're really good at it, is it possible that you'll be financially free? And do you want to have great people in your life? People who respect you, love you, treat you beautifully? I think that the answer to that has to be yes, because the reverse doesn't make any sense. I want to be fat, old, sick and weak. I want to have a lousy, stinking, rotten job. I want to be broken. I want to have horrible people in my life. So if you make excuses, because a lot of people live their life like that, don't they? They're unfit, they hate their job, they're broke, and they hate the people in their life, or they have horrible negative people who treat them badly. And they make excuses for that. I haven't got time, I'm too busy, I haven't got enough money, I've got the wrong cultural background, I had a terrible childhood. People have lots of excuses. But if you make excuses, is it possible you're spending a lot of time on excuses versus what can I do to change it? And when you have a look at those 4 things, because for me, and how humans live their life, of course, is completely up to everybody. It's a personal choice. But for me, to be healthy, fit and strong, to have a career or business that you love, so the thing that you do to make money, you love it, of course that means you are more likely to be financially free. And why would you have horrible people in your life? To live your life like that is surely living your life to the max. So I don't want to waste time ever making excuses for why my life wouldn't look like that. I want to make sure that it does. Now, I have lived my life like that every single day of my life for this reason. At 13 years of age, I literally decided that that's what my life was going to look like. And I wasn't going to make any excuses, because if I waste time on excuses, I'm not out doing the things that will help me achieve those goals. But now, as an old lady, and I don't know if you've ever considered this, but I always thought as a teenager and then as a young woman, that by the time I got to be an old lady, people would be respectful of old people. I was always taught to be respectful of old people. I always thought that everybody, if you're an old person, if you're retired, for example, that of course you would be healthy, fit and strong, because how can you enjoy your retirement if you're not? I always thought that old people would be financially free because they'd lived their life doing what they love, so that when they retire, they've got plenty of money to go and do all the other things that they want to do in their life now that they're not working. And I always thought that if you're retired, your family would love you, the people in your life would treat you beautifully. What's really interesting now, though, is as an old lady, I can see lots of old people who don't live their life like that, haven't lived their life like that. But the really sad thing is this, and now I'm just coming at you from an experience point of view, people who look back over their life and have to say, my life was terrible, and they regret not being healthy, fit and strong. They regret having a horrible job that they never loved. They regret retiring with no money and having to rely on the government. And they really regret the horrible people that they had in their life, because now they're old, they haven't got gorgeous people in their life. Now, I'm all about solutions. So regardless of how old you are, could it be a great time today, not tomorrow, today? Could the very next thing you do, rather than make an excuse, I can't, I'm too busy, I haven't got enough money, could a really great idea be eat something healthy, get puff, lift heavy to be healthy, fit and strong, so you can stay that way for the rest of your life? If you're in a lousy, stinking, rotten job, could today be a really good day to decide, I'm not doing this anymore. Life is too short or too long to have a lousy, stinking, rotten job. I'm going to go and do the thing that I'm passionate about. If you're broke, if you don't have money to live your life the way you want to live it, you don't have to live like that, of course. The financial wealth creation, financial security process is the simplest of them all, and I don't understand why people don't do it. I know it's not taught in schools, but there's plenty of information about how to be wealthy, how to be financially free, how to be financially secure, regardless of how much money you're currently earning. So if you're making excuses for your life, and not you personally, but I'm sure you know people who do, I can't do it, it's too hard. Well, what's the alternative? If you make excuses for not being healthy, fit and strong, having a career or business that you love, being financially free and having great people in your life, then you have to accept the consequence that you'll be fat, sick, old, weak, diseased, miserable, have a horrible job, be broken, have horrible people in your life. And I just can't understand that process. I hope you can hear that in my voice, because I am an old lady and I see too many people who are my age and older who have lived their life as an unfit, unhealthy, miserable, grumpy person. And now the last part of their life is even worse. There's that very very interesting quote that says, if you have everything going for you, if your life is amazing, you have lots of choices and lots of decisions and you really enjoy your life. But if you're unhealthy, if you're sick, then there's only one thing that you want, and that's to be healthy. So could the foundation, fundamental of all of that be to get yourself healthy, fit and strong mentally and physically so that you make better decisions about everything else? So if there's only one thing that you stop making excuses about, could it be, I'm not going to be unhealthy, weak, sick, diseased, lazy anymore. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to get fit and get healthy. Now, I will take full responsibility as a personal exercise coach, as a woman that's been in the exercise profession all of my life. I've managed health clubs all over the world. The exercise profession, I think, has screwed up people's headspace when it comes to exercise, and I take responsibility for that because most exercise programs are too long, they're boring. People don't like going to the gym because the equipment's too scary. There's a whole heap of reasons why people don't exercise. But ultimately, this is how simple it is. If you want to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life and have a body and brain that can do all the things that you need it to do, you've got to get puffed to get fit. You've got to overload your muscles and bones to get strong, which means getting puffed takes a very short period of time, and lifting something heavy, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't take very long. So the biggest excuse of all for exercise, well, the biggest excuse for most people for everything is I don't have time. But what are you doing? If you don't have time to be healthy, fit and strong, you'll have to find time to be sick. If you don't have time to get out of your lousy, stinking, rotten job, you'll be stuck there for the rest of your life. If you don't have time to work on your financial security, then you'll be broke for the rest of your life. And if you don't have time to become a great person to attract other great people into your life, then you'll have to accept lousy, stinking, rotten people. That just made sense to me when I heard that for the first time, and that's why I've lived my life that way. So how about you? Do you want your life, if you are not living as a healthy, fit, strong person who loves your career and has great people in your life and you're financially free, is it time to say, today I'm going to make changes. I'm going to get puffed. I'm going to lift heavy so that I've got a fit, strong body that can think clearly and make better decisions. I'm not going to put up with a lousy, stinking, rotten job because life's too short. I'm going to do everything I need to do to become financially free, financially secure, wealthy if you want to be, because that's an easy process. And why on earth would you have horrible people in your life? I'd rather be by myself, and that's the beautiful thing. If you really like yourself, if you respect yourself, if you'd like to be friends with yourself, then you don't need other people. The people that come into your life should be adding value, not detracting value. I think that's just a fair statement and a pretty logical one. So is it time? And I love that quote so much. You can make excuses or you can get results, but you can't do both. So I'm not ever an excuse maker. I take full responsibility for my life so I can get the results that I want. How about you? Do you want to live your life to the max? Super duper doo. How are you? Living my life to the max. Check out the snowy mountains. They're beautiful.